Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the man accused of killing a single mother of two expected in court Thursday morning.
The city of Seadrift has terminated its police chief.
And a 19-year-old faces murder charges as he's accused of opening fire outside a high school graduation.
Well, we got a lot more sunshine today, fewer showers, and that means early summer heat. Yes, temperatures are going to be pushing into the upper 90s over the weekend. We're going to have to start dealing with the heat coming up a little bit later on. We'll talk about it.
Authorities in Florida have arrested the woman accused of fatally shooting her neighbor. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us. I'm James Munoz.
And I'm Karina Garcia. A Victoria man accused of killing a single mother of two in April of 2021 is expected in court Thursday morning in Matagorda County. Fernando Acosta Jr. is indicted on charges of murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Another hearing takes place September 13, and a trial by jury is expected to start November 13th. Now, the victim, Amanda Johnson, was found in a burned-out SUV. Authorities determined she had a gunshot wound. She was just 38 years old. A missing persons report was filed April 17, 2021. She was known to friends as A-Rod and taught group fitness classes for many years.
The city council in Seadrift has fired its police chief. The Port Lavaca Wave first reported the council voted unanimously to terminate Chief Leonard Bermea. He was suspended on May 2nd. Council members met behind closed doors before the vote. No details were released on why he was let go. Interim police chief Marie Carizales was named the new chief.
And this brings us to your viewer poll this afternoon. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, do you agree with the Seadrift City Council to fire Chief Bermea? Yes or no? We want to hear your opinion. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 6.
Victoria firefighters busy with this fire at a home in the 900 block of Melrose Avenue. The call came in just after 2:30. No word on the cause of the blaze.
Now to the latest details in that deadly shooting in Richmond, Virginia, where a 19-year-old man is accused of opening fire outside a high school graduation. Today, he was in court.
The teen faces murder charges, and this afternoon, one family is mourning the loss of a father and son.
What should have been cheers for the graduating class of Huguenot High School, instead turning to screams as gunfire sent terrified students and their families scrambling for cover. Police arriving within 45 seconds to a theater near Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, where the graduation was held. Authorities later confirming two people were gunned down, 18-year-old student Sean Jackson and his stepfather Renzo Smith, both shot and killed. Sean's mother telling ABC News her family was there to celebrate his graduation. Sean's 9-year-old sister, also a victim, recovering in a wheelchair after being hit by a car while fleeing the area. One witness describing how the joy of those gathered quickly turned to grief.
I walked past this guy and he ran, and the next thing I know, he was shot. It was total chaos.
Sending multiple units to the area, all traffic stand by.
Authorities say 5 others suffered gunshot wounds. Officials say a 19-year-old suspect is in custody, facing 2 second-degree murder charges with possibly more to follow.
We believe there must be accountability for this violence.
Police say multiple handguns were found at the scene and believe the shooting was targeted.
I'm tired of seeing people get shot.
The Richmond School District is canceling all graduation ceremonies until further notice. The Gun Violence Archive says so far this year, there have been 279 mass shootings. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Smoke from Canadian wildfires has more than 55 million people in the Northeast, Midwest, and Mid-Atlantic regions of the U.S. under air quality alerts. Canadian leaders say there are more than 150 active wildfires burning in Quebec. Major cities are shrouded in smoke, with New York and Detroit experiencing some of the worst air quality in the world this morning.
Last night at 10 p.m., the air quality index hit 218, a very unhealthy level. On the levels of health concern, it really sent shockwaves throughout the entire city and this region. And this morning at 7 a.m., the air quality index was 174 in the Bronx and will remain around that level for at least another day. But this is an unprecedented event in our city, and New Yorkers must take precaution.
The FAA says the smoke haze could delay flights through Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. Now, Mac, you were telling me, of course, this wouldn't reach us, but we are monitoring this. It could affect flights even.
Absolutely. I mean, this is basically soot, folks. This is a live picture from New Jersey over to New York City. It's pretty unbelievable. Their air quality number is at 320. That is the worst air quality in the world right now, and this is a dangerous, hazardous situation. People need to stay inside, not breathe outdoor air, just stay inside and recirculate the air, because it's a huge problem. And can you imagine an airplane flying through all this soot? What would happen for the ingestion of the engines? We'll be talking more about their problems and our problems for the weekend coming up in a moment. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. The federal government will monitor how Houston responds to reports of illegal trash dumping for 3 years. It's part of the agreement the city leaders reached with the DOJ. It comes nearly a year after federal authorities investigated complaints the city was slow to respond to illegal dumping in Black and Latino neighborhoods. That made it a civil rights matter. The U.S. attorney says Houston must also keep and report data and continue its efforts to shorten cleanup time and prevent illegal dumping.
No one should have to live next to discarded tires, bags of trash, rotting carcasses, infected soils, and contaminated groundwater, all caused by illegal dumping. For too long now, Houston's underserved and low-income communities have had to bear the health burdens of the inaction and misdeeds of others.
This marks the second environmental justice settlement under federal civil rights statutes. The first occurred last month in Alabama. A Florida woman is accused of shooting and killing her neighbor whose children were playing outside her house.
Authorities arrested the 58-year-old suspect Tuesday following Friday's shooting.
From the basketball hoops to the bikes left roadside, no doubt this neighborhood tells the story of a place where kids spend a lot of time outside. Today, the streets are quiet after days of tension.
She took someone's kid's mom away. She didn't just kill someone, she killed someone's mom.
Megan Stevens is talking about her neighbor from across the street, Susan Lawrence, who's now charged with shooting her neighbor from next door, Ajika Owens, or AJ for short. Parents here say all the kids play outside together, many of them Black or mixed. They say Lawrence would often call them slurs before things escalated.
Calling them the N-word, hard R, whatever, stuff that.
This memorial right here is the result of what happened in this field. Now, people in this neighborhood say this field is where kids like to play. You can see why, because it has so much space, and this is where all the children in the area would come and play. Now, they say that Lawrence really had an issue with kids playing near her home. It eventually escalated, and Owens came over from her house across the street to confront Lawrence, and that's when deputies say she shot through her front door, killing Owens.
And I heard a bang on my door so loud that my windows were shaking. And I came outside and her son was literally gasping for air, telling me that his mother had been shot by the lady across the street.
You said you knew who that was?
I knew who it was immediately.
Phyllis Willis says these moments were heart-wrenching, seeing her friend and neighbor dead across the street. Her message to the woman accused of shooting AJ was simple.
I hope she rots in hell.
In Marion County, Tony Atkins, West 2 News.
The sheriff's office says detectives were able to establish that woman's actions were not justifiable under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. She's expected in court Thursday. A new report shows deaths from armed conflicts around the world doubled last year. The report from Sweden's Uppsala University shows global armed conflict killed at least 237,000 people in 2022. It's the highest number since 1994, when hundreds of thousands of people were killed in the Rwandan genocide. Ukraine and Ethiopia accounted for an estimated 180,000 of the world's conflict-related deaths last year. Several local agencies held a training drill today. The goal was to test first responders and their ability to work together in the event of a mass critical incident. Today's scenario was an active shooter event at a school campus. The participating agencies simulated many aspects of a real-world emergency, including responding to and securing the scene, providing medical care to actors portraying people who were hurt.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave this week. A man was shot after he reportedly attempted to break into a home off of FM 3084 Thursday night. He does have an arrest warrant and is expected to be taken into custody once he's medically cleared. And law enforcement made 18 weekly arrests in both May and beginning of June. Plus, Memorial Medical Center faces financial challenges with a net loss of over $300,000. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
We have lots more ahead. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Justice Clarence Thomas received an extension to file financial disclosures amid scrutiny into his relationship with a mega donor.
Also ahead, evacuations continue amid the flooding after the destruction of a critical dam in the Ukrainian-Russian war.
I got you! You're going down so hard right now. Cool. Y'all the one busted out laughing.
Judge Steve Harvey. New episodes return June 14th on ABC.
Here's to the one and only DQ Blizzard. It's the ultimate Texas treat that makes road trips sweeter and summer days cooler. Flip your day with our new Oreo Brookie Blizzard of the Month.
DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
Join happy Optimum customers who love their fast Optimum 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month. Paul says it's reliable internet, great speed, reasonable pricing. Thanks, Paul. We think you're great too. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide. Get Optimum 300 meg internet for $30 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. For your special offer, call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
Opening April 21st, the Nave presents the diverse works of Ernesto Leon, an artist with over 40 years of professional experience. Dedicated to painting and sculpture, his works are influenced by history, the art of Jackson Pollock, and the work of Italo-Argentinian artist Lucio Fontana. His sculptures deal with sunlight, construction, and the organization of geometric elements as a way of approaching space, while his paintings are saturated with colors. Closing June 11th, this is an exhibit not to be missed.
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is getting a 90-day extension to file financial disclosures. The extension comes at a time of scrutiny concerning his finances and his failure to disclose years of lavish trips in real estate deals with GOP mega donor Harlan Crow of Dallas. This extension also means any information about Thomas's dealings with Crow won't be released until after the end of the Supreme Court's term.
I think we need to push as hard and fast as possible, not only on Harlan Crow, but all of the other potential financial dealings. We need to be vigilant and vigorous, like a hawk here, because there is so much at stake, and the ethics questions are only growing with time, and the urgency is bigger than ever. So I would drill down as quickly as possible.
Thomas issued a statement about his use of private jets and yachts. He said he was told that under the rules in effect at the time, he did not have to disclose the gifts. Justice Samuel Alito is also getting an extension to file the disclosure.
Evacuations for hundreds of people from the Kherson region continued Wednesday after the destruction of a critical dam in the Dnipro River. The Ukrainian ministry says about 80 settlements are in the zone of potential flooding. Ukraine and Russia traded accusations about which country was responsible for the breach, as Ukraine's President Zelensky accused Russian terrorists for the attack, and defense leaders called the act a war crime. How teens and tweens feel about their bodies can affect their mental health. The experts say this time of year can be hard on anyone who struggles with how they look.
But there are ways parents can promote positivity of body image this summer.
As the weather warms up, shorts, swimsuits, and other summer clothing come out. For those who struggle with body image, this time of year can be hard.
Adolescence is a period in which our bodies are growing and changing, and it's normal for teens to experience a little bit of that distress or self-consciousness that comes along with those changes.
Social media with filtered pictures and videos can add to poor body image, says psychologist Erin McTiernan with Nationwide Children's Hospital.
Kids can often be making comparisons to things that are just really unrealistic and unattainable.
That's why McTiernan says not to focus on weight, instead zero in on overall health, being active in a way that's enjoyable, and eating a variety of foods throughout the day. Since kids can take their cues from adults, especially parents, McTiernan says it's also important to model positive body image.
It's important for parents to understand how they feel about their own bodies and make sure that they're talking about themselves and their bodies in a way that they would want their kids to talk about themselves as well.
Finally, focus on all the positive traits and qualities in your child that have nothing to do with their appearance.
It brings out that self-confidence in a way that can sometimes overshadow just what they look like on the surface.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
A group of demonstrators gathered Tuesday to protest the closing of an LGBTQ+ geared clinic in Mississippi's capital. The Center for Gender and Sexual Minority Health is part of the University of Mississippi Medical Center in Jackson. It offered gender-affirming care. Protesters say the university didn't announce the closure and instead quietly removed information from its website and alerted the director by email.
The relationship with Mississippi and its political leaders and the LGBTQ community is very strained right now. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding, there's a lot of rhetoric, there's a lot of confusion, false information that's out there. And I think we really just need to have a conversation. We need to understand that LGBTQ people live here in this state. Hundreds of thousands of them live here in this state.
A new law in Mississippi bans gender-affirming care for transgender minors. The clinic is set to close at the end of the month. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. Cuero High School graduated 125 students. The DeWitt County Vietnam Veterans Chapter 1029 hosted a Memorial Day ceremony. And the Cuero Library is offering a free reading program. You can read these stories at dewittcountytoday.com.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. For us, we had abundant sunshine, and fortunately, our air quality is a whole lot better than it is back in the Northeast. We'll be looking, however, at temperatures pushing well into the upper 90s in the next few days. So stay tuned. We'll have your forecast coming up after this.
Need alignment? We got you. Need front end work? We got you. Need a tire? We got you. Need an inspection? We got you. Want great service? We got you. Need a short wait time? We got you. Need forklift tires? We got you. Need rubber tracks? We got you. Need tractor tires? We got you. 18-wheeler tires? We got you. We can come to you for OTR. We got you. No tires too big or too small. We have them all. Come see us at Wholesale Tire.
When it comes to weather alert days, don't wait until it's too late to prepare for severe weather conditions. Trust 25 News Now First Warn Storm Team to provide you with the necessary information to protect your family and stay safe during weather alert days. Our weather team provides forecasts and real-time updates to keep you one step ahead. Over the air, online, and on our Crossroads Today app. Let bad weather take you by surprise.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups or get $2,750 total cash allowance. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
good afternoon, everyone. 93 degrees, that's the current temperature, and we're going to be looking at that kind of stuff for a while. You see here, it feels like 96. That's the combination of the temperature and the humidity. And because we have no significant wind out there, we're going to be dealing with some rather stifling, sizzling, yucky kind of weather as we get to the weekend. There'll be no rain, but it will be blazing out there. Here's the crossroads. As you can see, no shower activity except for one little shower down along the Sea Drift area. Otherwise, we're looking for just a few showers in Houston and a couple of leftovers up in the hill country. By and large, though, the entire portion of Texas is going to be looking at much drier weather pattern, and the reason for it is right here. What's going to be happening is we've had lower pressure up here on the eastern side, and that's been bringing all the shower activity down south. Well, now this dome is going to be moving up. That is stable weather, and that is compressing air. You can see how those showers fire up tonight, but as soon as tomorrow, high pressure builds in, and all of a sudden, all that shower activity that we had is going to go away. By the weekend, on Friday, we're looking wall-to-wall sunshine, not only for us, but for most of the state of Texas. And all of a sudden, we're getting a little bit of an early season heat wave. Theoretically, you know, according to the books, it's not officially summer till June 21st. So you can call this, spring weather? It's not going to feel like it. Let me show you this map, folks. This is an air quality map, and every point is a city reporting. So you can see, you know, down here, a little bit of problem in East Texas, we're fine. But here's the huge problem. The fires occurred up here, and the wind sort of brought everything down, and then they had stable atmosphere, which didn't stir the atmosphere up. So in places like everything from Connecticut down to New Jersey and all the way over into Pennsylvania, all the way down in Ohio, they're dealing with hazardous air to the point where they're telling everybody stay indoors, don't drive, don't go anywhere, close the windows and just recirculate the air inside the house. Because remember, this is particulate matter. Now, 2.5 micrometers. It's a little bitty soot, gets in your lungs, and it's big enough to cause a clogging of your alveoli inside your lungs. So that's why we don't want anybody to be ingesting that, because that would be a huge problem. Now for us, boy, it's the muggy stuff that has arrived. Now here's your Wednesday. We're humid, and Thursday we're a little bit more humid. And by the time we get to Friday, we'll be in the very humid category all the way through the weekend, right on through Monday, as a matter of fact, and you will really feel the temperatures on the rise. For those of you in Port Lavaca, yes, 74 in the morning. That's as cool as it's going to get, getting up to about 94, and we'll just call it partly cloudy. In Cuero, we're pretty much looking for a 92 as an afternoon high, but that's Thursday. By the time we get to Friday, it's going to be even warmer. Now, I don't do this to make it feel worse. I do the heat index right here. In other words, it's the temperature and the humidity. It's going to feel like, affect your body like 99. But as we get to Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at 105, 107, 106, and that's when you just really have to take it easy. I mean, you can walk across the street, but if you're doing strenuous exercising, that heat can get you. That's your 7-day forecast. Of course, we have the QR code. We'd love for you to scan this, put Crossroads Today on your phone, and take us wherever you need to go. We'll be back with more coming up in a moment. Right now, we'll toss it back to James and Karina.
Maclovio, thank you. Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at your stocks. Plus, Twitter's lawyers have refuted Elon Musk's claim the Twitter files exposed U.S. government censorship.
We have some great news. We've extended our Made in America Memorial Day sale with instant rebates up to $700 off on just about everything in the entire store. Plus, up to 60 months of no money down and no interest. And buy it today, and I'll have it in your home tonight.
From New London, Minnesota, Mark, your smile melts our hearts.
Next live, Anthony Ramos from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Plus, Maitreyi Ramakrishnan from Never Have I Ever.
I love this dress on you.
This dress I have worn 6,000 times.
Really?
Yeah, and you pretended like you used to watch this show.
The dark side of American gladiators. Next, Inside Edition, it was the toughest show on TV with the baddest bodybuilders.
Hey, what's up? I'm Malibu.
Decades later, what went on behind the scenes that the audience never knew?
I realized how cutthroat that type of business can be.
The revealing new documentary. Then, Prince Harry on the hot seat. Could he face deportation from the USA? Next, Inside Edition.
Somebody's going to point a finger saying, you can't post that.
Offended, offended, offended. Why can't I share my thoughts on social media? I'm constantly being shut down.
There are even people who say that emojis should not be used anymore. Thumbs up. Younger Americans claim it's rude, passive-aggressive, and dismissive. You got to have a lot of free time to get pissed off about this. Next, Dr. Phil.
We have some great news. We've extended our Made in America Memorial Day sale with instant rebates up to $700 off on just about everything in the entire store. Plus, up to 60 months of no money down and no interest. And
buy it today, and I'll have it in your home tonight.
The Dow rising 91 points, the S&P 500 losing 16 points, and the NASDAQ down 171 points. Oil up 79 cents, closing at $72.53 a barrel. For months, Twitter CEO Elon Musk has claimed the U.S. government illegally coerced Twitter into censoring a 2020 New York Post article about Hunter Biden. Twitter's own lawyers dispute that. They said the Twitter files were regular communication between the FBI and Twitter ahead of the 2020 election. The FBI was issuing general updates about their efforts to combat foreign interference. Lawyers for former President Trump hope this could be used to revive litigation over Twitter banning Trump from the platform. That lawsuit was dismissed last summer.
Stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, the National Park Service is reminding visitors to leave the wildlife alone at Yellowstone National Park.
My name's Danny, and I absolutely love my F-150. I bought this particular truck because of the Blue Cruise. You literally let go of your hands. It just centers the car in the lane, follows the person in front of me, keeps a safe distance. In my experience, the Ford F-150 is the best in Texas.
Lease a new Ford F-150 for just $499 a month or choose 0% plus $750 cash. Both include complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Blows, and so I put an alert day for afternoon thunder showers. What is a 25 News Now alert? That's when we know that severe weather is going to impact your life. Thunderstorms, lightning, hail, flooding, or maybe even a winter storm. We will put up that alert to make sure that you stay safe and keep your family safe as well. At 25 News Now, we're here to keep you safe from the storm.
What brings you by? I'm here to pick up Kim to go to a concert.
You want some ice cream? It's on the grocery list on the counter. What are we doing? Kissing. Am I doing it wrong? This is everything I ever dreamed of. We're just going to need a power saw and a box of matches.
Like I'm letting a bunch of 13-year-old boys play with matches. Power saws in the shed.
25 News Now would like to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Go to the link on your screen for more information on how to download.
The Victoria Television Group is proud to honor our veterans, and we need your entries. Each month, we'll acknowledge a new veteran to salute. To submit, go to the Military Hero page on CrossroadsToday.com and help us recognize the deserving servicemen and women in our community.
When you don't keep your eyes on what you're doing, it can be downright dangerous to you and others, especially when you're behind the wheel. Put your phone down. Heads up, Texas.
The National Park Service is reminding visitors to avoid wildlife at Yellowstone. Recently, 2 adult black bears were hit and killed by vehicles driving in the park. An elk and bison were also hit by cars. Both incidents are under investigation. Visitors are reminded to slow down on park roads, especially at night, and anyone who sees wildlife near a campsite, trail, boardwalk, parking lot, or road should leave it alone. Park regulations require people to stay at least 25 yards from all wildlife and at least 100 yards from bears and wolves.
Yeah. And that's good advice. People think, oh, look, I'm going to go stand by the bear, take a picture, selfie. No.
I get a feeling that hitting a bison would do more damage to the car than it would to the bison.
You know, I've been to Yellowstone. They're fairly windy roads. I mean, I don't know how you can go fast.
Yeah.
So to do that in a park and run into a deer or an elk.
A bear, yeah.
A bear, and then keep going.
Like it was nothing? Yeah.
Don't understand that. Anyway, folks, for us, the summer is on. We're going to be looking at temperatures slowly rising. Today we were at 93. We'll be at 95 tomorrow, and then about 96, 97. Of course, it's not only the heat, it's the humidity, and that's why I put the heat index there, not to make it sound worse, but to just let you know how your body's being affected by the combination of both. Basically, get plenty of fluids, wear a hat, don't get sunburn, and when you're out in the afternoon, don't overdo anything. You know, strenuous activity, you'll be perspiring a lot, and then you won't be able to cool down.
Yeah. All right, Mac, thanks for the update. Thank you for being with us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today.
That's right, and we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next.